This is how I always think of you, Mother. You know, Home Alone, you have that crazy pigeon lady in the park. That will be you in the next 10 years.
To be honest with you, without sounding awful, they were ready for the dinner table and there was no way that I was going to let that happen.
I've kind of got out of it though recently. I
Yeah.
did that one holiday that you went away and you asked me to stay here and clean everything, which, scarred me for life. And then since then, I've kind of passed it over to Emma.
Yes.
Oh, yes. So going back to what I was saying, the crazy lady in the park surrounded by pigeons. Exhibit A.
Well, you know that it's called empty nest syndrome when your children leave home.
Well,
Yeah.
you didn't leave
I
it an
just
empty
replaced
nest for
you with
long.
2 goats.
Exactly.
Well, Elvis is about to leave the building. And do you want
Can
to
I
meet...
go with it? Shall I do the introduction in tweet? Tweet. Hello and welcome back to the Garners Couch Club Podcast.
I'm Sharon and this is Shaun of Channel 4 Sunsea and Selling Houses and Spanish Property Choice, located in the beautiful province of Costa Almeria, Spain, and also the Costa del Sol.
Well done.
Yeah, how come I've got everything to say. And I'd like to introduce you today to Spokey and Bacon.
Very fitting. Okay.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is going
so
to be an
these-
interesting one.
These are the newest members of the Garner family, I understand.
Yeah. Well, just to explain, if you haven't already watched us on Sunsea and Selling Houses, you probably don't know that I rescue an awful lot of animals. Currently, I have 2 dogs, Spanish Mastins, 2 goats. I have 4 geese, 2 ducks, 4 chickens, 3 pigeons, an African grey, a Port Lincoln parrot, 4 cockatiels, 150 mixed birds, and now, I forgot the other 6 lovebirds that I already have, and now I've just acquired another 2 lovebirds.
And I have 2 cats. I go for the simple life, you see. And I don't know where this obsession all started, because you've never really been into animals. Like, growing up, we had dogs because I insisted on having a pet dog. Mm-hmm. But all of a sudden, you've now become like, out of Home Alone. This is how I always think of you, Mother. Home Alone, you have that crazy pigeon lady in the park. That will be you in the next 10 years.
I dress like her now.
Well, you will be out in the parks feeding all the pigeons. And I don't know where this, it's a great obsession to have, because you've rescued and adopted literally hundreds of animals now.
I have, yeah. Well, I think it stems from why they started to get really noisy all of a sudden. I am actually a patron of AA Dog Rescue Spain and UK. And obviously I do a lot of work with the different charities, Paws Patas, Puppy Rescue, and I've sort of got a lot of involved in a lot of the animal rescues, Mazzy's Rescue, etc. And unfortunately as well, I've also got very friendly with our local vet. And pretty much every week I get a call, Sharon, is there any chance you could look after this baby hare? Or
Yeah, I got a phone call a couple of months ago. Shaun, speak to your mum. We've rescued a pig. Would she be interested? I think I made the decision for you on that one.
You didn't tell me about it, and I was
Well-
really annoyed, because I would have done some research, and if I felt that I could have looked after it, then I would. But my garden has actually become, it's like a mini zoo, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. They're the most spoiled animals I've ever known, because they have their own, ponds, they have their own pens, they have their own netted enclosures, just because of, if there's any flies around. I don't know the exact reason,
Yeah,
but
I just don't like the flies and things like that, and that getting on them.
yeah.
I do have large aviaries. These are my latest little babies. The black and grey one is Smoky. Now the green one. I do already have 4 of the green ones, all rescued. Now these, I can't say these are rescued. These are rehomed because we've just sold a property for one of our vendors in just outside Touré. And she's a lovely, lovely lady, and she's very adventurous. Unfortunately, she lost her husband recently, but she asked us to sell the property for her. We've sold the property, and now she's going to go and travel in the world.
Oh, nice.
Now, she wanted some, but these were her babies.
Yeah.
She's had them for 3 years. And she wanted them, she was a bit worried about where they were going to go. She obviously couldn't take them with her. So she asked me if I would give them a good home. So I'm just getting used to them. I've only had them for a few days. This is the cage they originally come in. And they've been there. They've been in it for 3 years. They love each other to bits. They've got so much character. You could sit and watch them all day long.
Will they eventually be able to go into your aviary?
They're going into the aviary, but I've got to transition them properly. You can't just, these have been so used to being together in this space that, I've got to give them some time. I'll move this cage into the aviary, let them, all the other birds, be able to fly around them and that, and then eventually I'll open the cage and they'll be able to do what they want to do. But, they'll have a good home. That's the main thing. But...
yeah, I mean, it's just to add on to the very, very long list of pets. But, I mean, I can vouch that every animal that you have is extremely well looked after. You and Dad obviously put a lot of hours into caring for them. And really, it keeps you at the office. So I've never complained because it's like, yes, you just go and look after your animals. We'll run the business.
Well, I'm really lucky because our local vet, they are so wonderful. I mean, he actually comes to the house now, and he actually brings his students with him because obviously they don't get to see ducks and geese and chickens and that. It's more domestic animals that the vet gets to see. So he brings his students to the house now to see the animals and see how they're looked after. And he obviously treats them whilst he's here, which is really, really good. But yeah, I'm not a charity. I'm just, I just love animals, and he knows that I will look after them.
Well, it started back in the pandemic, wasn't it? It was, I think you were... obviously, with your heart condition, you did what you were told to do with the pandemic, and you were at home for a very long time. You wanted to kind of keep yourself safe and everyone around you safe.
Yeah.
So you stayed at home, and I think you and Dad just sent each other crazy, didn't you? So you had to start looking at pets.
This was my sanity space. I mean, obviously, in the pandemic, was when I first had the 2 goats. I mean, I never thought that I'd end up with 2 pygmy goats, but to be honest with you, without sounding awful, they were ready for the dinner table, and there was no way that I was going to let that happen. So we had to go through a right procedure because it was within the pandemic. So we had to get a license and that, and get them bought here and that, and I ended up with them. And they're my 2 boys now. I love them to bits. And it's sort of grown from there. The birds. Again, at the end of the day, when I see them in tiny little cages or not being well looked after, then I'm always open to looking after them myself. I've given them the space. I'm lucky enough to have 2,500 square meters of land, so my animals have pretty much taken up all of that now. And most of my other living room is is floor to ceiling aviaries.
With aviaries. No, they have literally taken over. They have.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had the dogs. Forgetting about the dogs.
Yeah, the dogs were the first ones.
Yeah,
We had them on series 1 of Sunseeing Selling Houses.
Was it?
Yeah, because at the time I'd bought Max, my dog from the UK. Well, actually, it was your dog that we bought you in the UK. That
Yeah.
it was quite funny when we were in the UK. Sean wanted this dog. He always wanted like a Labrador type dog, and we'd find these books open all around the house with a picture of these dogs. Anyway, we got you one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. It ended up being my dog. Yeah, and when you were out partying and doing your bit. But we bought Max over, and then we had Shane from Paws Rescue.
Yeah. Rescue dog.
And Uncle Seamus in Australia bought me him when he came over to visit.
Yeah.
So we had him, and Max lived till he was 15, and Shane lived till he was 13. But then we decided to have the puppies. Well, we went for one because he looked like Max.
Yeah.
Ended up coming back with two.
Yeah, which I was quite surprised with because that was partially down to Dad.
Yeah, he wanted.
He fell in love with Doc. What was it, Doc?
Doc,
Doc was the second one.
Well, it was funny because there was 5 of them, but those two, Doc and Rico, sort of stayed together. We called Doc because he's got no tail. He's got no tail, and Rico is short for Ricochet, who are our producers.
Yeah.
Part of Warner Brothers. So that's how we got them. And I'll introduce them in a minute. Obviously, somebody that's watching will be able to see this. Somebody that isn't watching, it's probably a good thing because it'll be mayhem.
Or more of an excuse or reason to go over to our YouTube, the Garners Couch Club Podcast, and watch the video version because you're getting a little insight today into Mother's at-home zoo. So,
yeah, I'll try and introduce you to a few of the animals. Obviously, I can't bring the goats in here because they do have a tendency to leave a trail.
Yes, and chew, and
they'll eat everything in sight. But we were thinking maybe in the future we may do some podcasts where we go and do each animal individually. Yeah.
Yes, it's something we are discussing. Maybe a little behind the scenes filming.
Yeah.
But yes, that's still in the making.
It'll be interesting because he's frightened to death of them.
It's not the highlight of my day for sure when you ask for the animals to be looked after. Or I've kind of got out of it though recently. I did that one holiday that you went away and you asked me to stay here and clean everything, which scarred me for life. And then since then, I've kind of passed it over to Emma.
Yes,
bit by bit. I'm like, you live closer, so.
Yeah. Well, lucky enough, I'm really, really lucky because your best friend in the UK, Dan, who you've known since a baby.
Yes.
Dan and Vicky's his lovely wife. Vicky absolutely loves animals, and they come over 3, 4, 5 times a year now, don't they? And this is their holiday. Me and Steve get to go away, and they look after the house and the animals for me. And they do well. She does a better job than me. I mean, I'm a clean freak, but Vicky's really. But the animals love them, and it's part of their holiday. They like to sit around the pool and have their animals around them, which is exactly what I want. For them. You know, I mean, I did find that in the pandemic, a lot of people, obviously a lot of people ended up having dogs, didn't they, during the pandemic, but that backfired massively.
Yeah, all for the wrong reasons in a lot of occasions.
Yeah, I only take any type of animal if they're not being well cared for and I know that I can look after them. I was asked to look after a donkey. And to be honest, I was very, very close, but I did my research and I knew that you should really have 2 donkeys together because they can get very lonely. And they needed at least 1,000 square metres each, and I hadn't got that room left.
Yeah.
Or else that one I probably would have gone for. But yeah.
Well, who are we going to introduce following Smokey and Bacon?
Well, I reckon, shall we get Ollie Bolly? Because he's a bit of character, isn't he? He's one of my pigeons. It's not something that people have as a pet.
Say, go and get your pet pigeon, Mother. That's not the normal thing for people to say.
Okay. Ollie Bolly. Right, so this is Ollie Bolly.
Oh, yes. So going back to what I was saying, the crazy lady in the park surrounded by pigeons. Exhibit A.
Well, normally when I'm in the aviary with him, He will come and land on my head or, sit on my shoulder and that. But
Yeah.
he's the only pigeon that I know that quacks like a duck.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's got a character,
He has
put
got
it
a
like that
character.
way.
Yeah.
And he arrived at my hacker office, didn't he?
Yeah.
I was there one day and he just started wandering into the office and then we kind of shoo him out and he'd wander back in and he had a very unusual temperament which we knew he'd fit in great with my mum.
Well, the thing is, he has got a funny temperament because he either wants to bite you or he wants to mate you. One or the other.
Yeah, he's very weird, let's face it.
No, he's not. He's beautiful, aren't you? Hey, he's beautiful. But he was actually, it was Kim that phoned me. It was it Christmas Eve? I think it was, if I remember. Or was
Can't
it?
remember because I remember we had a box that she put him in and she took him home just to obviously take care of him straight away because you could tell that he was tame in a way. He just didn't want to leave. So she took him home in a box to see if she could care for him. But again, he just wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
He didn't want to fly. He didn't want to move. He was just kind of very chilled and relaxed.
Well, he'd been injured. That was the problem. He can fly, but he can't fly very far. He can sort of fly up onto your shoulder or onto your head, but he can't fly very far. So, oh, thank you. Do I get kisses? And he waddles. He doesn't walk like a normal pigeon. He waddles along. So he's obviously been injured, but he was checked over by our vet, and obviously he's got his own coop, his big coop. Yeah.
Yes. Again, they live in palaces. Let me just get that over. He's not just got a coop. He's got a huge, ginormous aviary.
Yeah.
And
his coop was meant for 12 chickens.
Exactly. Yeah, he's living the life of luxury. And he gets on with the other animals because he's in with what the ducks, the chickens.
The ducks, the chickens, and the goats. The goats he doesn't tend to go near. But he stays very, very close to the chickens and that. Yeah. And I've also got an aviary in there as well with a Port Lincoln parrot in there, and he sits with him. He sits on the side of the cage with him. Don't lollyballs, eh? But to me, he's a pet. He's lovely. I'd love nothing more than to let him free. Yeah. But obviously he wouldn't last. The vets, sort of said no. He's there for life, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for me.
Unfortunately.
So, fortunately for me. Anything that I have had. I have had rabbits and hares and tortoises that the vets have asked me to look after. And I've got them back to full recovery, and then we've let them out into the world where they should be. The birds again, if the birds are okay, then I'll let them go in the appropriate places. But the animals I've got at the moment, I've got them for a reason.
Yeah.
So
that is Ollie.
So what do you think about it, Ollie? Eh? What's your thoughts on the subject? Eh?
Yeah, he's a man of many words.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you can't eat that. No, you can't eat that. That's called a microphone. Yeah. Yes, so that's Ollie Bolly. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to see? What do you want to see?
I don't know.
One of the ducks?
You crack on.
Right. Well, I'll get your dad to bring them in because it's going to be a lot easier. So. Is it? What are you bringing now? I haven't got a clue.
I'm not sure myself. It could, honestly, the options are endless in this house. But I love the fact that obviously me and Emma flew the nest and you just replaced us with loads of farm animals.
Well, you know that it's called empty nest syndrome when your children leave home.
Well, yeah you didn't leave.
I just replaced you with 2 goats.
Exactly.
Do you know that the animals bring so much pleasure I mean, I feel very calm when I'm in the aviary. I tend to fall asleep. I mean, I normally wake up absolutely covered in poo from head to toe, literally, because, they just
Yeah,
land
see,
on
that's
me
the
or...
side of it I can't be dealing with. I mean, obviously, I've got two cats. I've got Cosmo, who was a rescue cat. He's almost 7 now. And then I've got Lucky that I rescued about 8 months ago. When I was moving house, I didn't want Cosmo to be on his own.
Lucky's beautiful, though.
So,
He's got a
yeah,
lovely character.
I adopted Lucky from Paws Animal Rescue. And they got on amazingly. But see, cats are just so easy. Cats just not look after themselves, but
Yeah.
they're happy as long as they've got some food and water down. They're a lot. Their characters are a lot more amazing than what I thought they were going to be. I was always told, oh, cats, they're independent. They don't really have much of a personality. But honestly, well, you've seen them. My cats, they're incredible, and they've each got their own characters and just because they are a little bit more independent, especially comparing to like dogs and that,
Yeah.
you can, you can leave them for a couple of hours, or like when I'm at work, I haven't got to worry too much.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
what do we have?
Right. I'm going to have to just put the mic down
Oh
for a
my
second.
Lord. Okay.
Steve's just going to do an intro. Now, that's Elvis. That's my duck, or one of my ducks. Now, Elvis is Elvis, but it's actually a girl. So, hello, baby. Come here then. Have you been in the water? You're all wet. You're all wet, I know.
Do you want a few grubs?
Yeah, do you want some? Give us some dried mealworms.
No, I am not. No, you're fine.
Want some, baby? Want some mealworms? Good girl.
Does she quack?
Does she quack? She's a duck.
Well, what do ducks do?
Ducks quack.
Exactly. Oh dear.
Yes, this is Elvis. I've got a pure white one called Priscilla. I got these together. Once again, these were ready for the pot, unfortunately, and there was no way again I was going to let that happen. And they've got a fabulous life. They're with the chickens. They've got their own pool. Yeah, they are spoiled. They've got their own grass area.
Honestly.
They have fresh vegetables, fresh salad every day. They love these mealworms, dried mealworms. And there's a few extra other bugs in there as well that are dried. But
I mean,
bit of protein, it's
I
good.
take my hat off to you. I mean, I'm not going to lie. You look after all these animals, you and Dad, and they are part of your family now. But I just still can't get my head around that I'm sat on my mum's sofa and there's a duck, like, just chilling out with us. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen... I think for me, there's that fine line of which is like domestic animals or like pet animals, and you've bonded with all these different farm animals, and I find it very amusing.
I know. I would like a farm. I mean, I think that would be a dream. The other thing is as well, all this helps me with the charities as well. I mean, obviously, AA Dog Rescue, I do a lot of charity work. In fact, next weekend, I think I'm doing judging the dog show.
Yeah, you
in
take part in a
Arbelez.
lot of the shows, don't you? A
Yeah.
lot of the big charity events. You do a lot of the judging, a lot of the ribbon cutting, and you've always put your time and effort in to anything animal related. And obviously, that leads on to the collaborations that we've created with a lot of the local charities.
Yeah.
And some very exciting news.
Well, that's
that we
it.
have.
This is it. This was one of the reasons we thought we'd do this today. In a few days' time, put them in your hand.
They are not going in my hand. What are they? Dried worms?
They're dried mealworms.
No.
Yeah, so you just hold them like that,
Nope.
and then you just do that, look. And she'll just take them out your hand.
Yeah, I'm really pleased for her.
Now, going back to the collaboration, we are so lucky. I mean, I do come up with these very weird ideas from time to time. But AA Dog Rescue, they have a shop in Albox, a charity shop where they can raise funds. And they needed somewhere in Work Lavera. Now, we've got 3 offices, and our Work Lavera office is huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
We were even going to the point where it was not manned half the time because we were just out on the road all the time, viewing, etc. So I came up with the idea of, in my head, I don't know whether this is going to work, in my head, you know what I'm like. The idea is that they are now going to be moving in with us. So you're going to have an estate agency and a dog charity in the same premises. But as far as the charity is concerned, it's in a fabulous location. We've got one of the best locations in Work Lavera, right on the island opposite the bus station. So they'll have a lot of passing traffic, and hopefully people will go in and spend the money and earn a lot more money for the charity.
Yeah.
For us as a business, in my head, it made sense because we have a lot of people who buy houses off us, and they want the house that they bought cleared. So obviously that, we've got the perfect space now for all of that, so we can help the vendors out. And also footfall. The people that are coming in and out of the shop, the charity shop, will see us there, and if they decide to sell, hopefully they'll put their properties on the books with us. If they don't put the properties on the books with us, then obviously the other thing is we will have the footfall, and people will come in looking for properties as well. So
It's a win-win situation for us. I mean, Work Lavera has always done very well, and it's been very successful, but because our Mahaka office especially is as busy as it is, we've always had to pull the staff away to help with viewings, help with take-ons, just generally being in Mahaka a bit more. So when this opportunity came up, I think it just made sense. It's a charity that you work with extremely closely, being patrons of the charity, and they're obviously looking to expand and looking for new opportunities. And I think it's just going to be all round very, very positive. I think we are an estate agent known for working so closely with all the animal charities. And like you were just saying, it's a no-brainer that it means we're going to get more footfall, more people through the door, more people looking in the window. And why not? It just made sense.
Yeah. And we raise the funds for these babies. Well, not so much these babies because it's more your dogs and cats. But the good thing is as well, Dog Rescue, they also transport the animals back to the UK.
Yes.
So anybody from the UK can adopt any of the dogs that they've got, and Charlie and Sharon and her team drive them back to the UK. And vice versa. There's if you've got a dog that you want to bring over and you're moving, any of our purchasers, if they've got any animals that they want bringing over, then obviously Charlie and Sharon and the team will bring them back from the UK over here safely. And it was a sensible move as far as we were concerned.
Yeah, and I think anyone that does know our family, or anyone that's watched the show or followed you on social media, they know how important animals are to you. So it's not like just a really out of nowhere decision of why would they be going into collaboration with a rescue charity. But it makes sense. It does make sense because you are one of probably Almeria's leading adoption ladies. You set the standard, you set the example, and why not for a good cause?
Yeah,
I think it makes sense.
Well, it's nice to know that the charities trust me. It's nice to know that the vets trust me.
Yes,
they know that they're well looked after. And I tell you, when we go shopping, I mean, we have got the healthiest shopping basket in the world. I mean, we have a whole basket literally full of vegetables and salad.
Seeds,
I mean,
salad.
I literally clear the shelves. I mean, people must think I eat salad all the time, but it is literally for all the animals.
But the other thing that people should know as well is if you are going to adopt any animals, you have to do it the right way. You have to, first of all, make sure that you can do it. You have the sort of amenities and the ways of doing it, and make sure you have the right living accommodation, the right setting.
Yeah.
But my mom in her personal life is exactly the same as her professional life, that she does everything so by the book and everything perfect, and everything has to be done the right way. So following her footsteps with that as well, make sure the animals have all the right vet treatments, all the right vaccines.
You have to have a license. I mean, I've actually got a license for 5 goats, so I've still got 3 more to
I
go.
know, I remember helping you get that license. So when the vet had to come up and do his first like blood tests on the goats and that, first of all, we were having to tell them a lot of stuff. We were like, well, we've done our research and we know you have to do this and then you have to ask for this. And then he came and saw where the living accommodation is for the goats, and he looked and thought,
Well, he
"Hang
just
on a minute,
he walked. I'll never forget his face. He walked in and into the pen area, and he just threw his arms up in the air and he went, "Madre mia!" And he was basically saying, I could live here, let alone the animals. And I think that's why Pepe brings his students, when they get the chance, because I do try to keep them in their own habitat as well. I know that unfortunately they're in aviaries or but I do give them as much of the natural habitat as possible.
Well, they're all rescues. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to stole them out the local lake. They're all rescue animals. So,
yeah.
you're giving them an opportunity and
Well, this
and
one
a
could have
good
ended
life.
up in the local Chinese restaurant.
Oh, I do love a good sizzling duck in a
No,
pancake.
you can't have duck now. You see, I don't eat meat now. I mean, I actually don't eat meat now. Very, very rarely eat meat. And I mean, I can supply the whole of Almeria with eggs. I've got that many eggs.
Yeah.
But it's a wonderful life having these animals. But you've got to. They do cost a lot of money to keep. To be fair, yes, you do. But it's my hobby and it's what I enjoy doing. So
And going back to, I think that's the reason why I've only got 2 cats, because they are a lot more self-independent than a lot of animals. But I would love, I've always loved dogs, and I would love to have a dog again. But I've got to be sensible.
Yeah.
I know I can't have a dog living in an apartment with not a lot of outside space, and I work the hours that I work. So, maybe when I get into my 60s, I might follow in your footsteps and become.
well, you could end up with half of these because I mean, my goats could live to a ripe old age, and parrots. I mean, my parrot can live to 60.
No, so there's a long line of inheritance, you see. It's got to go to Emma first. Then it's got to go through her children next.
Yeah.
And then to me,
Right,
if I'm still
okay.
around.
That's only because Laura Lou bites you every time you can hear her.
Yeah. Not happening. Mind you, it wasn't she the one that took a chunk out of your face once?
She actually bit my lip when we were filming Sunsea and Selling Houses, and I was doing the opening credits literally the following day.
Yeah, I remember.
I had to put that much makeup on my lips. Yeah, I got a bit too close, and she had a good old nip. Hello, Smokey. Are you coming to come and see Elvis? Come and see Elvis. But I got it wrong with Elvis because I was told that it was a boy and a girl.
Oh, well, nowadays, names
Doesn't
can
matter,
be.
does it? Yeah.
He
He
could be
identifies
either way.
as Elvis.
He identifies as a duck.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bless him.
Well, Elvis is about to leave the building. And do you want
Can
to
I
meet?
go with it?
Do you want to meet Doc and Rico?
Well, they can meet Doc and
would
Rico.
you like to
'cause
meet Doc and Rico?
I love Doc and
I'll
Rico,
introduce.
yes.
Oh, there you go. Go on, be brave.
some more.
Go on, Elvis. Have those last few dead bugs.
Yeah.
There you go. See, I love you forever.
Okay, that's enough. Right. Let's do an animal swap.
I've moved the birds because when you see the size of the dogs, you'll realise
Yeah.
why. But these are Spanish Mastins, and
They were lovely little fluff
They were lovely
balls
little
when you
fluff,
went and got them.
but they are they're huge now. They are fully grown, thank goodness.
I think I might also take this off because
That's the problem with them.
something
They're
will
that
get
big. I mean,
smashed.
everything just goes all over the place. Puppies! Hello,
Here
baby.
they come.
Come on.
Hello, my
This
dears.
is Rico.
Hello.
Hello, my darling.
Oh,
And this is Doc. Come and say
hello,
hello, Doc.
boys.
Come and have some cheese.
Hello.
Come and have a bit of
Oh.
cheese. Come and say hello then.
Right, come and sit down.
Doc, come here.
Rika.
Come here.
Rika.
Oh, this is where it
Oh.
becomes manic. Here, Doc. Doc.
Come here.
Here, some cheese. Sit.
Come here.
Sit.
Sit down.
Sit down. Sit down then. Sit. Sit up. Sit. Good boys. There you go. Oh, right, we have control.
Look over.
Good boys. So this one. Doc, do you want some more?
Yeah, they don't sit still for very
No,
long.
they're a bit excited at the minute. Come on, Rico.
So this is Rico.
So this is Rico. Give me a paw. Give me a paw. Good boy. Good boy. This is the smallest one. This is the one that we actually went to fetch because he was so much like Max, who I just lost. And this
Oh, it's
one
madness.
is the big lump. Yeah, Doc. Doc, Rico, do you want some more cheese? Oh, you found some. You want to sit? Yeah, sit.
Come here.
Sit.
Come here.
Doc, sit.
Sit.
Sit. Ouch, that's my toe. Right, so that's you. And then that's you. Good boys.
Oh, the slobber. Oh,
Now, these are
lovely.
bred. They're bred to protect their owners. That's why they've got all this skin, all this flabby skin that you can see around their necks. These great big sort of fur collars that they've got. It's it's so that the wild boar, if they get attacked by the wild boar, it doesn't harm them. It just gets their skin. But yeah.
Okay.
I said it would be madness with
Yeah, they're always like a tornado coming through.
Yeah, and you're always covered with hairs. Come on then, you are. Right, come and say hello. Now, the big good boy. You coming up to say hello? Come on then, up, up,
No, if Dad sees you,
up. Shh, don't
they're
tell your dad.
trained not
Come
to
on,
get
up,
on the
up,
sofa.
Good boy, don't tell your dad. Don't tell your
Oh,
dad.
here comes the other lump.
Oh, I didn't mean you though, Rick. Doc, I didn't mean you. Could you? Okay. Do you want? Yeah. Do you want some? Yeah. Come on then. Up, up, up.
Mother, stop
gonna
it.
get into trouble.
I know.
Up.
Stop trying to get him
Come on,
up.
up,
Look, this is actually how well trained they are because they're told not to. Mother, give him the cheese. Be cruel.
There you go.
Oh gosh. Well,
That's it. Good boys. That's it. I've got no more now. It's all
go and
gone.
find your dad.
It's all gone now.
Go find
it's all
Dad.
gone, Rico. All gone, baby. Yeah. So, and look,
Yes, exactly.
absolutely plastered in hairs. So, yeah. So that's just a few of my animals.
Just that doesn't even touch the amount of animals that you've got. If you like animals and you are interested in any of the local charities, then always reach out and ask us.
Yeah.
By the time this comes out, the Work Lavera AA shop will be open.
And I'll make sure that's filmed, and we'll put that on probably on our Facebook and Instagram page.
Yeah, so please go along and see the team there, and they'll let you obviously have a look around the shop. If you're visiting the office still obviously for Spanish Property Choice, we are still there. We still have a presence, so please still come in and, what best? You can search for a property and also
Buy a new top as
Buy
well,
a new
or maybe
top.
a sofa.
and
or...
they'll tell you what dogs they've got up for adoption, and you never know.
Yeah.
Win-win.
I mean, the other thing is as well, thinking about the office as well, going back to our vendors and that, and presenting properties, which we talked about on another podcast. Even with that, if somebody wants to, sort of, if they've got an empty house and they want it staged and that, there's an opportunity there.
Yeah.
We could maybe use some of the furniture and then they give a donation to the charity. There's so many options. You've got to think out of the box. And when you're a patron of a charity, I've got to think of ways of raising as many funds, because those guys work so hard. I mean, I know what it's like to look after these animals. And I know what it costs me and your dad, just to feed what we've got. It's a never-ending circle for all of the dog and cat charities around here. They get a home for one of the animals, and everybody's happy. And then, blow me, the following day they'll have a box left outside with 6 more in. So I'm open to helping all of the charities, and if I can do anything at all. And we've got so many. I've got 86,000 followers on our Facebook page. Even if each of you just gave €1, if you could just send €1, that would just be amazing. So please support the charities. I will put on our Facebook page the links to be able to do that.
Definitely.
And so. And if you've got any other ideas for anything else that I can do to raise funds, please let me know.
Well, the charities are good because they're always doing different events, aren't they? So I think just spreading the word of when those events are on and how you can make donations, and anyone that is interested in, adopting or giving these animals a new home, then definitely get in touch. So
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, that was just a little glimpse into the madness of the Garner Zoo. So we hope you have enjoyed this episode. Please, as always, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can click the little shazza-tingle bell, which will remind you whenever we've got a new episode coming out. You can also listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcast, where you can also follow us and give us a star ranking out of 5. So yes, the dogs are back.
Yeah.
And I think that is our time to sign out.
So he's going to dribble all over you now. Oh, they've just had a drink as well.
Yeah. Punch in the face.
I hope you've all had a shazza-tingle, because I know I have.
Yeah, lovely. Anyway, see you in the next episode.
Take care. Bye.